In-depth interviews and live call-ins with the people making headlines in your community. This is Orange County Prime Story.
Good evening and welcome to Orange County Prime Story on this Tuesday, November 30th. I'm Brooke Robbins. If you think the likes of Jerry Springer and Morton Downey Jr. invented their style of combat TV all on their own, think again. The self-proclaimed father of combat TV started right here in Orange County. Wally George, truly a talk show host you either love or hate. And now he's written a book about his favorite and most memorable times of his life. I want to welcome Wally George.
And I'm here in the flesh, gang. I am here. You can talk to Wally. Oh, let's fix the hair now. Gotta make sure I'm okay. You can talk to Wally. I understand you're going to take phone calls.
We're going to take phone calls. We put up the number 1-800-CALL-OCM. But you know, before we get started, Wally.
Wait, first, who would believe that I would be on the opposition? You know,
well, I want to read a quote from your book. We put together what was wound up as the Wally George Show. This was your original TV program.
Yeah.
It was a weekly talk show program with no audience, just guests.
Yep.
I didn't argue on that show. As a matter of fact, I booked fellow conservatives, and we all sat around agreeing with each other. Frankly, I think it was kind of boring.
I bored myself to death.
I just want to tell you, I hope you're not bored tonight.
Oh, Brooke, you are such a beautiful girl.
I don't know if there's going to be a lot of combat on this show.
I watch you on the news on OCN.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope that Pat Boone or Cal Brackett aren't watching from my station. Can I say KDOC?
You certainly
Channel
can.
56?
That's right.
Every night at midnight, I'm there. But I'm the guy that, I'm the guy that invented raucous television, combat television. It was boring before Wally came around, and then people started to copy me, like Morton Downey Jr., like Geraldo, Jerry Springer. They're all Wally wannabes, and I may sound like I'm not very humble, but I started it, and I'm proud of it, and I like what I'm doing.
But you have actually called people on your show
jerks,
morons, filthy, rotten perverts,
idiots,
scum.
That's right. I only do that.
How can you be proud of that?
I only do that if they are filthy, rotten perverts or scum, and I have a lot of those people on so I can expose them for the raunchy individuals that they are.
Are they truly raunchy individuals, Wally? Are they just different? They think differently than you. They have different views than you.
I have people on who are pro. Pornography. I have pornography producers come on. I have prostitutes come on who want to legalize prostitution in America, and I call them bimbo idiots and toss them off the show. And I have people on who usually are really dimwits and a bunch of idiots, and I don't mind calling them that. By the way, speaking of that, your newspaper...
No, it's not our newspaper. We're just tenants of the building. We are not owned
Anyway, the Orange County Register wrote this about me yesterday.
Jane Glenn Haas, that's right.
Jane Haas. And do you know what she calls me in the first paragraph?
Is it any worse than what you've called other people?
Sorry, I brought it up. No, but she calls me pathetic. Is that, okay, Wally George pathetic? I mean, and then she goes on to, well, I understand Jane is not feeling too well, so I don't want to get...
No, she actually called me yesterday, and she warned me that you were not too happy with her article and knew I was having you on the show.
Oh, and, she went in and said some very harsh things that were in bad taste. And of course, you know that I would never go on my show and say anything to somebody that was in bad taste. Wally George is always a perfect gentleman. Isn't that right, Bimbo? Oh, I'm sorry, Brooke. I'm sorry about that, Brooke.
You know, I said this wasn't going to get combative, but I may just be changing my mind.
Only kidding.
On that note, let's take a call from one of your fans.
Why don't we do that?
I don't know if it's one of your fans or not. Tim from Los Alamitos.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, Wally, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, it's good to hear from you, Tim.
Brooke, don't let him pick on you.
Oh,
I can vouch for her. She's not a liberal, right?
This is the camera, right? Okay. Hey, do you have a question for me, buddy?
Yeah, I sure do. Well,
all right.
Are you going to start taping live shows again?
Yes,
where you have audience participation?
Yes, we are. Right after the first of the year. You know, our format in the new building has been Monday through Friday. I do new commentaries, as you know.
Right.
And then we show some highlights from the most outrageous moments of the past 17 years. And then on Saturday night we show a whole hour of Hot Seat. And so.
But you don't film that the previous Wednesday though, right?
No.
Right.
No, we don't. We're going to be taking the show on the road and be actually filming some hot seats from various cities around the country.
Oh, great.
By the way, have you heard about my new book?
You know, I tried to get to your book signing Saturday, but I was paged. I had to go to work. I anticipate buying it though.
You gotta read it. Oh, by the way, speaking of wanting to buy it,
you're
okay.
a conservative hero, Wally.
Right.
I mean, you know.
May I give a number?
I may get control back any day now, folks. Just hang in there with me, okay?
Do they have this number in the book?
You know what? We have it. We actually do have it. We're going to put it up, Wally. There you go.
May I say that you can call 1-800-354-5348, and you can order the book for $15, including tax and postage, and I will personally autograph it for you if you say you saw this on OCN. So it's 1-800-354-5348. What a perfect Christmas gift. I mean, the life story of Mr. America, Wally George. I mean, how can you do better than that?
Wally, I have to stop and tell the folks that I just met you for the first time tonight. We had a chance to chat for a little while before the show.
And you love me, don't you?
Well, I told you this, that you weren't what I expected. You're so calm and mild-mannered off camera. You're just, and people have described you as such a sweetheart. And then the cameras go on.
And I am a raging maniac. Don Englehart, who used to be at our station, and you stole him away from us. Don, we miss you, baby.
Is that what we did, Don?
Jan Wilson is a former KDOC person. How are you, Jan? She's a lovely girl.
Now, Wally, I want to get to more talk about you, rather than have your antics go on.
Let's keep it down there. The star is on now. There's talking going on back there.
Let me go to a commercial.
Oscar is here. Just keep it down, Oscar.
Let me go to a commercial break. Straighten him out. We'll come right back. Don't go away.
Are you sure we'll do that? I'm not sure now.
It's true. Ask any expert. The airport generates much less traffic than the non-aviation plan. That's because the non-aviation plan includes thousands of densely packed homes and office complexes. But the airport is green. It's surrounded by golf courses, a habitat reserve, and parks. So now you know. The El Toro Airport equals less traffic. The airport at El Toro, it's lean and it's green. Get the facts about El Toro.
Hi, this is Heidi with the Fabulous Food Television Network in search of the perfect party cake. We're here with Harold Wolf, the world's foremost authority on cakes and pastries.
We found the best in the world right here in Costa Mesa, in the German home bakery, where everybody feels at home.
Oh, I see what you mean. So who are these wonderful bakers?
It is Chris and Carson, of course.
What's your secret?
That's easy. Quality and care. Hospitality and service.
The most spectacular wedding cakes in the world.
And tastes wonderful.
All blood recipes.
Custom design.
Beautiful birthday cakes.
It's where you can have your cake and eat it too.
For the best bakery goods in the world, come to the German Home Bakery at 2950 Grace Lane in Costa Mesa.
We will custom design just for you.
Call 714-540-0281. The Bakers off Baker Street, near the 55.
We also wholesale.
Back. I don't think I had any luck in straightening him out, so you can expect more of the same. And why would he change, folks? Wally George is our guest tonight. Let's get back to our phones, Wally. Saul from Laguna Hills. Hi, Saul.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Hey, Saul. Thanks for calling. Do you watch my show?
Hey, Wally, speaking of raving maniacs, it's amazing you've been doing this, I remember, since 1983 or 84.
This is my 18th year, Saul.
How the hell do you do it?
What?
How the heck do you do it?
Well, I've been on the air, Saul, for 50 years. I started on the air when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
and I've been on for over half a century, and I've been doing this hot seat show for 18 years, and I do it because I love it.
You know, I believe it all because your persona, it's amazing that you can still do it. And my question to you is, when do you plan on retiring and basically sitting back in the hot seat?
I never, never plan on retiring. I told NBC once when they came out to interview me for the Channel 4 News that when I go, I hope I'm in front of a camera and I can hear the Wally Wally chant ringing in my ears.
That and how old were you there in that picture,
Well,
Wally?
in this picture here is when I started, when I was 14 years old.
And you had the coup of getting Bing Crosby on your show.
As my first guest.
Yeah, your very first guest.
I nailed him at CBS.
You beat it. You beat him into submission. You followed it up. You followed him into the bathroom.
I followed him
in. The urinal.
Can I tell the thing?
Of course.
I followed Bing into the men's room, and I was only 14 years old, and he was standing at the urinal, and I said, "Excuse me, Bing," and he says, "Can't you see that I'm busy?" And so when he had zipped up and gone to wash his hands, I said, I'm Wally George, and I have a disc jockey show, and I wonder if you'd be on my show. And he said, I never do interviews, you know. And he started out the door, and I went right after him down the hallway, and I said, but Bing, you know, can't you please, you know, I'm just starting out, and you could really make me a big star, and please, Bing. And finally he stopped dead in his tracks. I'll never forget. And he turned around and he looked at me and he said, how old are you, kid? How old are you? And I said, 14. And he said, 14 years old. And he said, come with me. And we walked onto this big sound stage. And on the stage, I looked and I saw the Andrews sisters, and I saw Al Jolson, and I saw Bob Hope, and they were all Bing's guests. And he said, we're going to take a little break here now, and I am going to do an interview with this kid. And he recorded about 15, 20 minutes with me, and it made my show because
of course.
I was on KIEV at that time, and they took a big full-page ad, and it said, Bing Crosby with Wally George, you know, and it was great.
14 years old.
Yeah.
All right, David Gadberry, one of your former guests.
Yes,
calling
indeed.
in. Hello, David.
Wally!
David, how are you?
How you doing? Wally! Wally!
David, are you still, you know what?
I still...
What do you mean, you know what?
You, Wally, what are you doing cruising in the bathroom?
Now listen here, don't get smart with me or I'm going to throw you out of here.
I got the power now, Wally.
May I ask you, I haven't talked to you for several years, are you still, pardon the expression, gay? And I don't mean happy.
I am gay and proud.
And happy, huh?
And I noticed you moved to Garden Grove, right into the heart of the gay district.
Garden Grove? I haven't met one gay in Garden Grove. Well, there's a lot of happy people in Garden Grove, but that doesn't mean that they're gay.
Said, Wally, congratulations on your book. Am I in it?
Did you buy it?
I'm going to meet you at the mall, at the block in Orange.
Oh, at the block in Orange. Great. Yeah, that's where I'll be.
See you.
Good. Hey.
Am I in your book, Wally? You're in mine.
You wrote a book?
Well, you know that.
All right, you guys.
I'm sure it's sold only in West Hollywood.
We're going to move on and talk a little bit about that book. David, thanks so much for calling. Want to show a picture of your famous daughter. Not many people may know that Rebecca de Mornay is your daughter.
That's my daughter, Rebecca. That was taken about 11 years ago when we were on much better terms.
And you devote a whole chapter to her and the truth about Rebecca.
Yeah.
And why are you estranged, Wally?
Well, it's very, very hurtful to me, and I can't really understand why we are estranged. I did everything I could. When she was 18 years old, she had spent a few years in England, and she came knocking on my door with her suitcase in jeans and a pullover shirt. I can still see her. And she said, well, here I am, Dad, I'm broke. And she stayed with me for a couple of months, and then I rented her an apartment. I put her into a Lee Strasberg acting school, and I bought her some clothes, and bought her a car and taught her how to drive, and got her a portfolio of pictures, did everything I could to help her. And then when she became famous, she decided she didn't need her father anymore, or, as a matter of fact, any member of her family. She just turned everybody off. My little daughter Holly is now 10 years old, and she's Rebecca's sister, and Rebecca has, and there's Holly on the screen now, and if she doesn't look like Rebecca, I don't know.
Okay.
You know.
Wally, we got to take a commercial break.
Again?
The father of combat TV.
I've just begun to talk.
And we've got another commercial break after that,
Oh,
so don't go away.
Gosh, you guys are doing good, huh?
For everyone who needs a smog check, there are Smog Pros test-only centers. We have ASE certified technicians ready to test your car with no appointment necessary in 30 minutes or less. And to make things even easier, we can process your auto registration on site, saving you time. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call for the nearest of our 16 locations at 1-800-CAR-TEST. Smog Pros test-only centers, the place to go for a quick and convenient smog check. Welcome to Plaza Garibaldi, Anaheim's world-famous mariachi and Latino dinner show, the best in the U.S. Enjoy our dazzling fiesta of music and dance for your birthday, anniversary, any special celebration, or just for fun. Experience authentic Mexican country cooking, delicious seafood, steak and combination plates, in a spectacular, award-winning restaurant.
Wonderful. Fantástico. Me divertí muchísimo. Está muy, muy bien.
The show was great. I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun.
Everyone had a marvelous time.
Now it's your turn. Call for reservations today. On the next OCN Sports Talk.
I'm Brent Weber. The Golden West Wrestlers haven't lost in women's junior college volleyball since 1997. They have their sights set on another state title tonight. Some of the Orange Countyans on that team will be on hand. Julie Renfro, Lori Dadelau, Natalie Snowden, and Marissa Cothran. Join us at 10.
OCN Sports Talk, weeknights at 10 on OCN, Orange County's news channel.
Hi, I'm Cece Winans, and I love Christmas. It's one of the few times of the year when my busy family can slow down and enjoy being together. One of our favorite holiday traditions is singing Christmas carols and spending time with friends. You too can capture this holiday spirit with the glory of Christmas in the beautiful Crystal Cathedral.
The Glory of Christmas, November the 26th to December the 30th. For tickets, call 714-54-GLORY.
If you want to get a copy of Wally George's book, it's just out. There it is. You can order it from the father himself. 7 Locks Press. There's the phone number.
1-800-354-5348. 5348.
There you go.
$15, including tax and postage.
John from Fullerton. Hi, John.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello, John.
Hey, Wally, how you doing?
Fine, pal.
Yeah, I got a question to ask you.
All right.
A couple questions. One is, when are you going to be down again for the next book signing?
Well,
we're going to be there, you know.
We're going to be at the block, and I have a lot of other book signings. If you call 7 Locks Press tomorrow, they can give you a rundown of where I'm going to be. I'm also going to be at UC Irvine and several of the college bookstores. And so we're going to be doing a lot of book signings here in Southern California, and then we're going to go elsewhere around the country. So
call that 1-800 number, and they'll tell you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That number again is
800-354-5348. Thanks for calling, John. You have said in your book, Wally, that you feel like you have not become bigger in your career, national talk show level, because of your loyalty.
Well, you read that in the...
I actually did read that in the Jane Glenn Haas article. Is that true?
Jane Haas's... I am a very loyal person. I am very loyal to my station that I have been with since they opened, KDOC. I'm very loyal to Cal Brack, who has been a very good friend of mine. He's the CEO over there, and I feel like we're a big family. And I have heard from Cal, and I've heard from Pat Boone. Wally, you have done an awful lot for KDOC, and I always say in return, well, KDOC has done an awful lot for me, because if I had not come on KDOC, I probably would not have ever got involved in my hot seat show. I was on Channel 13 for quite a few years, and I tried to get hot seat on KCOP. And they, at that time, like 20 years ago, they didn't think arguing on television would be successful. To show you how stupid some people who run stations can be, they just said, oh, the people don't want to hear people argue, and so they turned it down. And then when I talked to Pat Boone and the people at KDOC, I pitched them on the idea, and they said, go ahead, let's try it.
You know, Wally, I want to get in another call before the break. We've got Jim Gomez, also another former guest of yours from La Habra. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Wally.
Hey, Jim.
I can second the motion about his loyalty. This man has been a great friend of mine for over 17 years.
Well, and you've been a big fan of mine for all those years.
We've been great friends. I remember being a high school student, trying to get an interview with some well-known celebrity, and when People magazine was going and interviewing you, the BBC and television stations all across the country, he took time out to invite me over and interview him for my school paper, and he's been a wonderful friend.
Well, gee, I sure remember that, Jim, and you know, it was those high school kids like you at that time and the college kids who really put me across. I mean, I was amazed, and I remember Howard Rosenberg wrote in his column in the Times, he said, it's amazing to me, I came down to see Wally George tape his show, and the kids in his audience treat him like a rock star, and nobody's been able to figure out why that is, and that happens to this very day. You know, Brooke, I have college kids who drive by in their car on the freeway, and they honk their horn and they go, Wally, yeah, you know, and I don't know, those young kids relate to me for some reason.
One more commercial break, but we're not through with Wally George. So
commercials.
Stick with us. Got to pay for the show,
I'm sick
Wally.
of these commercials.
Got to pay for the show. We'll be right back.
Whatever your health need, For the Health of It has products you need to get fit, tight, lean, and healthy. We carry a huge selection of sports nutrition vitamins, herbs, workout clothing, plus much, much more. All at unbeatable prices. For the Health of It can help you build the body you want. Right now, buy any Twin Lab product and get the second one free. For the Health of It, now in Anaheim. Come in today and get a free protein container.
For 3 generations, the friendly people at West End West have given quality products and service to their customers. Come see the extensive selection of decorative hardware and plumbing for your home. On Laguna Canyon Road, Laguna Beach, West End West, the decorative hardware people.
Sports Talk, OCN Sports Talk. Weeknights at 10 on OCN. Sports Talk, OCN Sports Talk. Weeknights at 10 on OCN. Sports Talk, OCN Sports Talk. Weeknights at 10 on OCN. Sports Talk, OCN Sports Talk. Weeknights at 10 on OCN. Get in the swing now. Sports Talk, now 1 hour long on OCN. Yeah.
Tomorrow night, Prime Story, we take a look at World AIDS Day with Dr. Paul Seamock and Jim, an AIDS patient. And we're back with Wally George, certainly very different from what tomorrow night's show will be. Your book, though, is very, very candid, Wally. I mean, you admit that you were a stutterer from age 6.
Yep.
You called your mother possessive, overbearing, controlling.
That's right.
The chapter on your mom, Mommy Dearest, you called her.
I think there's a lot of people in this business who have had mothers or fathers who are like that, mainly mothers. And I had a very, very domineering, controlling mother who not only told me what to do, but she actually possessed me. and tried to do so all through my entire life. And that's a very hard thing. She just named herself my manager and tried to run everything I did, personally and professionally.
And how do you think that contributed to what you're doing today, your career goals today?
Well, when I started to do Hot Seat, she hated the idea that I was going to go on and embarrass her by yelling at people and being obnoxious on the air. And then when it became a hit, she was saying, "See, I told you, it's really big," and I knew it was going to be.
Holly, the love of your life, your 10-year-old daughter, what happened to your marriage to her mom?
There was a huge age gap, but the thing that was great about our marriage is Janice and I produced my wonderful little angel, Holly, and there she is. At our wedding, there's Janice, and there's Janice and I, and Holly, at Holly's baptism, at the Crystal Cathedral. Robert Schuler baptized her. He's a good friend of mine, and I'll tell you.
Okay, we got to wrap, Wally.
The one thing in the world that has kept me going is my little Holly, and God bless you. I love you with all my heart, sweetheart.
A very different look at Wally George, the king of combat TV. Thank you so much for being our guest tonight.
Thank you, Brett.
Enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Prime Story. Lots more news coming up. Stick with us.